My name is Mackenzie. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. Today we are going to be talking about some anticipated releases I have for July. So every month, even though I have an immense amount of books on my shelf, more books in corners and stacks that just I haven't read, I need to read, but every month they keep coming out with more books, and what is a girl to do aside from tell you about how much I want to read them? While I don't always buy all the books that are on my anticipated releases list, what I really like to do is I like to keep in mind all of these books that have a premise that seems that I might like, are in genres that I might enjoy, with tropes that I really like, and then I just wait for reviewers, my favorite booktubers and reviewers who have the same kind of opinions of books that I do, and I wait to see how they feel about it, and I wait to see what the general masses say, and I wait to see if there's anything problematic about it. And then once I accumulate all of this information and I go to the bookstore, I can make an informed decision of I'm pretty positive I'm going to really love this book, which in turn is why I give most books that I read either 4 or 5 stars, because I know what I really am going to enjoy. Now that we've got a very long preamble out of the way, let's talk about the anticipated releases. I think I only have a few for you guys this month. I have 8 releases. 8 releases? 8 releases. Let's go. Starting with July 5th, there's only one that I'm excited for. It is What Souls Are Made Of, a Wuthering Heights remix by Tasha Suri. So this book has a 4.28 on Goodreads right now. It is a YA historical gothic romance. Of course, it is a retelling of Wuthering Heights. Tasha Suri is the author of Jasmine Throne, which I haven't read. It is on my TBR this month. So after reading the Jasmine Throne, I'll see if I like her actual writing style, and then I'll know further if I want to read this book. Wuthering Heights I have not read. However, I know so much about it that I feel like, do I need to read it? Probably, because who would ever tell me to not read it? I always do love reading, like when retellings come out, I love to read the source material with the actual retelling book, and it kind of makes for a really nice reading experience, a back-to-back experience, so I can really decide if I liked it, how it related to the other thing. I like having a well-developed opinion, especially about retellings. On July 12th, there are 3 books that are coming out that I'm pretty excited for. One is August, Kitko, and the Mechas from Space. This is the first in a series written by Alex White. This is a 4.34 adult sci-fi queer space opera. Oh my god, look at this cover. So I heard about this book, I'm pretty sure from the booktuber Perpetual Pages. They always turn me on to like some new releases I've never even heard of before. Also, I feel like I'm not really like well versed in YA and YA new releases. I'm never sure what to pick up, and they are always putting out like YA reviews, and it's really awesome and really cool, and I really love watching their videos. So this book I heard about from them. This is when an army of giant robot AIs threaten to devastate Earth, a virtuoso pianist becomes humanity's last hope, and suddenly Gus's swan song becomes humanity's encore. What? Amazing. Lovely. AI, space opera, the colors, the mechas, the fact that the hero is a pianist and is going to be very musically inclined. Are you kidding me? I'm going to eat this up. So this is probably an auto buy. I don't think I need anyone else's reviews on this. Also, What Moves the Dead by Kingfisher. Kingfisher. Every time I say their name, I'm like, is it Ting? No, it's just T. I mess up all the time. 4.28 on Goodreads, adult gothic horror retelling. So this is an atmospheric retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. This is also a Literally Dead book club pick, so I will definitely be reading this. Kingfisher also wrote Nettle and Bone, which came out this April, and in this one we are following Alex Easton, who is returning to the ancestral home of a childhood friend, Madeline Usher, who is dying. So I haven't read Fall of the House of Usher. I do have, where is that monster? I do have this beast, this absolute monster, with the tiniest print you've ever seen, which has all of Edgar Allan Poe's stuff. So hang on, let me The Fall of the House of Usher, page 152. The Fall of the House of Usher. So what I would really love to do when I end up reading What Moves the Dead is to read the actual Fall of the House of Usher, read What Moves the Dead, and also Dahlia Adler, excuse me, she came out with like a couple of like collections, short story collections, one of which is a retelling of the Fall of the House of Usher, which I would love to get and read all together. Thank you, ma'am. We also have The It Girl by Ruth Ware, which is coming out on the 12th. This has a 3.99 adult mystery thriller. Ruth Ware is my girl, in case you didn't know. I love everything by her. This one is kind of an interesting take. I'm pretty excited about it. It kind of gives dark academia for a moment. So April was the ultimate it girl at Oxford and easily pulled Hannah into her orbit. But by the end of second term, April was dead. And a decade later, a young journalist approaches Hannah with new evidence that the person convicted is actually innocent. And so then we're like trying to figure out what actually happened. So I'm loving the dark academia moment. I'm loving that this is probably going to be a dual timeline. I really enjoy dual timelines, mainly because I love the suspense created, and it can be done poorly, but I love the suspense created when shifting between two different timelines. Like, you get a bit more information which ties everything together, and then you're waiting for the next piece. Like, I just so enjoy that so much. Also, I am almost finished reading up Ruth Ware's backlog, so it'll be really exciting to see what her new stuff looks like. On July 19th, I have 3 more books to talk to you about. First is The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. I already pre-ordered this book, so it is coming to me. It's a 4.12 on Goodreads, adult historical sci-fi retelling. This is a retelling of H.G. Wells' Island of Dr. Moreau. So I don't know anything about that. So when I read Daughter of Dr. Moreau, I'm probably going to read Island of Dr. Moreau just to try and figure out what's going on. And like, in a retelling, it's beautiful because it's referential material, and I really love when artists, authors, when they do that, because it really brings, like, when it's done well, it sings to my soul, and it's like it's poetry. It rhymes.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Okay, like, I love it. So in this one, Daughter of Dr. Moreau, we are following Carlotta Moreau, who is the only daughter of genius or madman. We have Montgomery Lofton, a melancholic overseer with a tragic past, who assists the doctor with his experiments, and the hybrids, the motley group of the part human, part animal monstrosities, and Eduardo Lizaldi, the son of the doctor's patron, who abruptly arrives, setting off a chain reaction. Okay, what? Excuse me, what? And now it makes me truly want to read The Island of Dr. Moreau, because if that also has the part human, part animal hybrids, right? Okay. And then I just read recently, what is it called? Plague Birds. I just read Plague Birds, and it is about how humans have gotten so far away from their humanity, they've been so intercrossed with animals that they need AIs to teach them how to be civilized again. I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi so much. I feel like sci-fi is consistently referencing other people's material, and it just makes me so happy. Like, I can't even explain it. Poetry, it rhymes. Okay. We also have Youngblood by Sasha Lawrence, has a 4.07 on Goodreads, YA fantasy romance. We have 2 queer teen bloodsuckers at an elite vampire-only boarding school, and they must go up against all of vampiredom when they uncover a frightening conspiracy on campus. And like, I'm not going to lie and say that the majority of the reason why I'm excited about this is because of vampires. I just am. I just love vampires, and I'm probably going to read every vampire story. Lastly, on July 19th, we have Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy. This is a 4.20 on Goodreads, adult paranormal horror thriller. So, it says that his has... It says that it has elements of American Psycho, but it kind of reminds me of The Awakening by Kate Chopin. I know that The Awakening was much more about like a sexual awakening, but like the more I read about the summary of this one, it kind of felt like an awakening in its own right, you know? And it also has the awakening in its name, so maybe that's why. But Mary is unknown, even to herself. She moves back to her hometown and begins having visions. She begins auto-writing strange thoughts and phrases. Mary discovers these experiences are echoes of an infamous serial killer. Then the killings begin again, and Mary is definitely going to find herself. It sounds so good. So good. So good. I've never read from Nat Cassidy before, so I have the not the highest of expectations, but I do have high hopes. We'll go with high hopes. Finally, on July 26th, there's one book that's coming out that I'm very excited about. It is a nonfiction. It's called Nightmare Fuel: The Science of Horror Films by Nina Nesseth. It has a 3.91 adult horror nonfiction, like I said. Do you like scary movies? And do you know why? This is a nonfiction all about the science of horror films, dissecting why we like the scary and who likes the scary and how it affects all of us. And I think that that is so freaking cool. I'm really excited about that, actually. So I think July is one of the lighter months. Not a lot of books that I was excited about come out. A lot of like literary fiction comes out, and I'm always nervous about literary fiction. I'm not trying to be broken by real life scenarios these days. The world's already doing that to me. So literary fiction has never always been a comfort zone for me. I have a few literary fiction books that I am always trying to read, and it just never seems to happen. But we'll see. Anyways, I still feel like this was a good smattering of books in the like sci-fi fantasy genre that I'm really interested in, that is my comfort zone. Tell me down in the comments below what you're excited for in July, and if you're going to be reading any of these books when they come out, maybe we can read them together. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!